So we are getting ready to have 2 baby calves any week now, which this cow, we call her Big Mama. She's one of our very first cows that we got here. And look how big she is. If I can stand straight on, you can just see how huge her stomach is. But I was noticing today, which I've been watching her every day, her milk bag has filled out with milk. Probably can't see that on camera, but it is getting so big, and that is a good sign that she is so close to having this baby. So I'm just continuing to watch her every day. So exciting. This is probably like one of my favorite things, is whenever the cows leading up to birth, just watching them every day. And her very first calf that she had here on the farm a couple years ago, I got to watch the whole entire thing. I actually got it on video, and it was so neat. Now this other one, let's see if I can find her. Oh yeah, this one right here, she's supposed to be pregnant. She's kind of harder to tell, but standing here, you can kind of see, standing straight on, her belly is looking like she has a baby in there. So I'm pretty sure both of definitely know she's pregnant, but we've been kind of watching her. It's kind of hard to tell on her, but I'm just going to continue to watch her milk bag, because she's not going to be too much far behind this one, because they were bred basically around the same time. So exciting. Of course, it's going to be the hottest part of the year with her having her baby, but I guess I'd rather have that than in the dead of winter where we could lose the calf. So hopefully everything will go just right. The baby will be healthy and nothing will happen. And same with this one, we'll just continue to watch her. So this one, we've been waiting for her to get of age to start breeding. And then we have a bull calf down here. He should start breeding this fall. He'll be old enough. And then his mom is actually way out there. So I'm not sure if we plan on selling his mom later or not, or keeping her. She's been a really good cow, so I don't know. But so far we just have 5 cows right now. So we don't have too many cows, which, you know, this is just an enjoyment, having cows. I grew up on a small little farm, and I just wanted this exact same thing that we had growing up. So it took us a couple years to get the herd that we have, because, you know, cows aren't cheap. But thankfully my dad raises cows, and we bought a lot of these cows off my dad when they were young. So he helped us start our little herd, and then now we have a bull calf that hopefully will start breeding all of these girls that we have here, and continue to just have more and more babies, and just continue to grow our little herd that we have. But you can see her milk bag a little better right here. You can see it's getting a little big. It's filling out with some milk. And another sign is actually looking at her hind end, which is kind of hard to see right now because we're in the shade, but she will start getting loose on her hind end, and her bones will start sinking in on the top by her tail. But I definitely know she is getting close because of the milk bag. And this one, if she would turn just right, I could see if her milk bag is forming. Can't tell. Sometimes they're so used to getting treats that they're here thinking that we're going to give them some treats. We'll just have to see. There she goes, turning. See if I can get down and look. I don't see anything forming just yet, so she's definitely not close. And this is the bull calf that we have's mama. But we sure enjoy having these cows. And also they actually help keep the grass in the fields ate down. And now that we rotate our fields look a lot healthier than they ever have since we moved here. So that's definitely a plus of having cows, is to keep all of this grazed down and all of the weeds and all the other stuff doesn't grow. So it's really nice to have the cows out here taking care of that for us. So here comes up the bull calf. We'll take a look at him. Over here, the kids love to feed them grass. We usually feed them treats every day, so our cows are spoiled. They get cattle cubes, high protein cattle cubes every day, and they absolutely love it. So this one right here is our bull calf. We're going to raise him to breed, and that's why we might sell his mama so they're not crossbreeding. But we're not for sure yet. We might separate them. But he's actually getting good size. He was born just this last year, so he's getting some size to him. So it is garlic season finally. It has rained so much this spring, and I've been waiting for the garlic soil to kind of dry out a bit before I started harvesting all of the garlic. So you can see just how muddy they are at the roots, so we had to take some time to brush off the mud and dirt off the bulbs so they have a better chance at drying. I like to start harvesting at the stage where the tops and the bottom of the plant starts to look dead and brown. I don't like to go any longer than that because the bulbs can start to split. So we got all hands on board today. We're all pulling garlic this morning. This was such a hot and humid morning that by the time we were done, we were all just covered in sweat. So garlic is probably one of the easiest plants to grow. I literally just plant them in the fall, and I really don't have to worry about them after that. Of course, there is a few steps prior to planting. You want to make sure that you do a soil test before you even plant anything, and that usually goes for the whole garden as well. Then once you know what the soil needs, you'll just add your amendments to the soil, because that will help you have success in knowing that the soil has the healthy nutrients and will help the plant be healthy. I also like to add a thin layer of compost in the fall, along with a good thick layer of mulched leaves. So after that, I really don't do much else. In the spring, I will watch the weather, and if we haven't had rain in a week or two, I will water them, but that doesn't really happen too often. I will even fertilize 2 times, but it really is one of the easiest plants to grow. So once we clean out the whole row, we took the garlic in our garage to dry. We have these 2 cut up cattle panels that we use every year, and we wire them up so it can stand upright and hold our garlic on both sides. We actually use some of these to dry our onions as well. So this is really nothing special at all. This is what we had laying around our house. We've had these panels for many years. We've used these in previous gardens, so we just use basically what we have, and this has worked for us for a couple years. And we just literally just use some wire and just kind of rig it up a little bit. So this is a little different from what we did last year. We actually had these panels kind of just horizontal, laying on some chairs. And this year we're just going to do this A-frame, and I think it's just going to work just fine. Our first couple ones that we did, we actually should have went through the inside of the panels, but we started on the outside, which next year we'll know, because you don't want the long green parts like touching any of the bulbs whenever they're trying to dry, because I don't want any mold or anything. This year I actually took some twine and I just kind of went in and out of holding these bulbs up on the wire, and I think it's actually going to work really well this year, because last year whenever we had the panel horizontal I didn't use any twine, and whenever they started to dry they shrunk up a little bit and they all started kind of falling through the panel. So this year I think it's going to be great because the twine is holding up the bulb really well and it's tight, so I don't think I'll have any problems with them falling whenever they're drying. So I just let my garlic dry for 3 to 4 weeks. I keep a close eye on it because it's so hot and humid in our garage that sometimes it'll take longer, sometimes less, but I want to make sure it's good and dry before I even start storing these inside. So they'll be completely dead on the green part. And once they're dead, I will just cut the green part off, and I usually put it into an old egg basket. I like using the egg basket because it has so much airflow that there's no way that it can start forming any mold or anything. And then I just store this egg basket into my pantry, in a dark, cool pantry. And that's really how I store it. I actually have some garlic from last year that's a year old and I'm still using it, so this stuff is great. I love using this garlic variety. So the variety that I use is called German Extra Hardy, and it's really good for roasting. It has a really good strong flavor. It can be stored in the ground throughout the winter time and it is very winter hardy. And you guys can see in my video just how big these bulbs truly get. I mean, they are really good size bulbs. And another good thing about these garlics is they produce some garlic scapes, so you're getting twice the amount of food coming off of this garlic. So you can use those garlic scapes in like stir fries, and you can actually freeze them and cook with them later. And this variety of garlic can store up to 6 months, but mine is actually going on a year now, so very happy with this variety. So after hanging up all of this garlic, I put a box fan on my garlic to dry it faster. And I really think it's good to keep it circulating in the garage because the garage is just so hot. So like I mentioned earlier, I store everything into this open egg basket and keep it in my dark pantry. And that's how I store all of my garlic. So I hope you guys enjoyed our video today. If you have any questions, just comment down below and I'll try to answer them. But I really appreciate you guys watching our videos. Don't forget to like our videos, and we will see you next week.